Last time on Cruising Joan Lynn. Joan, Justin, Nicole, and I are on our way to Coburg, Ontario, which we heard an announcement over a megaphone coming from the beach that a little boy had gone missing. Moments later, we observed the boy, matching the description, board a Coast Guard vessel.
And maybe watch a movie. And tomorrow we're gonna, I don't know what time.
We got about the coffee. Definitely got. We're gonna have coffee.
The way into Schoolhouse Bay, where we would spend the night, is a tricky one. Join us as we untangle the mystery of Maine Duck Island. This episode of Cruising Joan Lynn.
Let's begin now.
360. I woke up this morning and I said, instead of waiting for a good day to happen, waiting around through ups and downs, I just said, look.
We're gonna have a good day, and all my homies wanna ride today, and all these mommies look fly today, and all we wanna do is get by today. Hey, we're gonna have a good day, and ain't nobody gotta cry today, 'cause ain't nobody gonna die today. You can save that trouble for another day. Hey, we're gonna have a good day.
Justin, you want to get rope? And if you want to run up and grab the plates, so you think you're gonna.
The trick to getting in safely? Approach the island from its eastern shore, and after passing between the red and green markers at the entrance to Schoolhouse Bay, stay to the south of the small island in the middle of the bay, despite what your charts suggest. You can almost see the variance in water depth in the satellite photo here. It's going to be a starboard dock. Starboard. What I want to do is the wind is going to take me right into that dock, but I have to get enough room to turn. I don't know what the depth is up here. I'm going to creep up here. Just keep an eye on the water and tell me what the depth is. I got 6 feet right here. The island now belongs to Parks Canada. It was once colonized by European settlers in the early 19th century. The ruins of an old schoolhouse still exists on the southern shore of Schoolhouse Bay, giving the bay its name. The island now serves as a stopping ground for sailboats and cruisers making their way across Lake Ontario. On our arrival, the small dock was almost full. It was tight getting the boat in, and we had to be extra cautious. In 1904, the island was purchased by Claude W. Cole, a notorious smuggler during the Prohibition period. After Prohibition, the island was inhabited by a fishing colony of about 60 people until it was purchased in 1941 by John Foster Dulles, who in years to come would be appointed President Dwight D. Eisenhower's Secretary of State. An old lighthouse and the ruins of homes and other structures still inhabit the island today.
We had a couple of hours before dinner, so we decided to explore this 500-plus acre island where in 1984, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip stopped to have an unplanned lunch.
This abandoned structure is now the home of several different species of birds. Archaeological evidence found on the island suggests it has been inhabited since 450 BC. tale was written about a small fleet of French ships that wrecked off this island's northeast shoal in the dead of winter in the 1700s. Those who didn't drown swam ashore with whatever provisions they could salvage. Among the provisions, it said that they gathered treasure and brought it to the island and hid it. Well, what happened was the people on the island died off one by one of starvation, lack of food, illnesses, etc. And the people alive continued to bury the dead. So the bodies and the graves of many men that perished are said to be on this island until the last man died. And the last man died and took the secret of the treasure with him when he died.
We were all starting to get hungry, so we headed back to the dock where Jim prepared dinner.
Alright, you can't see it, but my family is all around me watching as I prepare foil dinners that we're going to put on the grill. I got a bag of beans from our garden, green and yellow beans, as well as some baby potatoes that I'm going to pour. I'm going to take some corn. It's basically corn on the cob. Then I'm going to take some kielbasa, which I previously cut up, and I have some shrimp that I've cleaned and deshelled, and that's all ready to go. Then I'm going to take some Old Bay spice seasoning that I actually made myself out of the stuff in my kitchen, which smells great. Season all this together. I don't use butter. We use because of the health reasons, so we're going to use spray butter after it's all cooked. But all I'm going to do now is take some lemon. I just squeeze some lemon juice. Squeeze your lemons. I squeeze my lemons. Do you squeeze yours? I take the other half of the lemon and I'm going to cut it into slices. So I'm just take and mix this around a little bit. Tin foil. Put a couple of lemons on in here, and you're done. And throw it on the grill just like that for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Looking at all the boats that are coming in at Main Duck Island, we've got 4 head up to the dock. We've got a couple that are anchoring out. It's getting to be busy.
So we got here when we did because we got pretty much the last docking space here. A couple of really cool guys from Kingston showed up to the dock that evening. I wish I would have gotten their names. They came in on a fishing boat loaded with bass that they claimed to have caught in the bay. They let the boys check out their catch and let them fish with their poles for a little while before they headed back to Kingston. Although I really enjoyed our visit to this island, the boys were really looking forward to our next few days at Association Island. And Joan?
I don't hate it. It's just kind of a lot of creepy crawlies.
6 and 4 is 10. That's 10.
Not a creepy crawly fan. Like, not
Alright,
only
now we're gonna
frogs,
take
but there's like 1,000 frogs in like 1 square foot area.
9.
The next morning, we started off early and began a course for Sackett's Harbor to report back into the United States. The lake was a pond, and we were the only ripple. Suddenly, above calm water and a thin fog, Sackett's Harbor appeared. We reported our return to the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Agency and refueled the Joan Lynn at Navy Point Marina, heavily afflicted by the high water levels this season. Then, we made our way out of the harbor to the KOA campgrounds on Association Island.
Next time on Cruising Joan Lynn.
The crew spent 2 nights at the marina on Association Island. After we set up the boat and did some laundry,
Just like at home.
we rented the boys a golf cart and took a bike ride with our new folding bicycles.
And tomorrow, I'm calling for partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of a thunderstorm. And on our way out, we had a little bit of a scare.
The Joan Lynn began emitting a slightly abnormal sound from the engine.
I took a look at the radar to see if there were any vessels nearby that could help